Welcome to the Vulnerable Room. Welcome back to the Vulnerable Room. This is it, season 4 finale. This season has been a ride. I've had some incredible highs, y'all. Moments where the conversations, the connections, the love from you all just reminded me why I do this. And I've had some lows, moments where life made me sit still, reevaluate, and remember that even in tough parts, growth is happening. Through it all, one thing stayed constant, that space we've built together, a space for real, unfiltered human conversations. Now, today's topic is special, it's bold, it's unapologetic, it's the blueprint is black. Because when we talk about culture, style, music, art, influence, so much of what moves the world, it comes from us. Black creativity, black resilience, black joy, our stories, our rhythm, our magic, we are the blueprint. And we've always been the inspiration. And that's exactly why my guest today is here, because she's creating a safe, beautiful space that celebrates the truth every single day. Before we dive in, let me tell you, season 5 is going to be different. A full rebrand, a new look, more visuals, new and returning guests, deeper conversations that push us, inspire us, and moves us forward. I'm coming back stronger, flyer, and happier than ever, God's willing. But hear me when I say this. This is not a goodbye. I'll still be active on the pod's Instagram page, engaging, connecting, and sharing with you all. And the book club, we're still turning pages. That won't stop. So as we close season 4, let's do it with intention. Let's celebrate us. Let's celebrate the blueprint. And to do that, I've got someone you need to hear from. Ladies and gentlemen, I now introduce to you Lauren, the face of Black Girl Social Club. Hey, girl.
Hi, thank you for having me. How are
Not
you?
not a problem. I'm doing pretty good. I'm so glad to have you here. I'm pretty sure everybody's wondering who is this face behind this beautiful black aesthetic page. I know I've been wondering, and I know I have a few friends of mine and some listeners here too that do follow you. I do see your content reposted all over. So if you can just give us a quick, like a brief overview of who Lauren is.
Yeah. So my name is Lauren. I'm currently living in New Jersey, but I am born and raised in Washington, D.C. A little bit about me is like my 9 to 5 is in education.
Okay.
I've been in education for about 12 years now. And then like in personal life, I'm a mom of 2. And then like me and my partner, we live here in New Jersey. So yeah.
Nice. Okay. So we like kind of one state apart from each other. So you're in Jersey, I'm in Delaware. So yeah, but pretty much again, I'm glad to have you here and I'm just interested in getting to knowing more about you in depth. So let's start from the beginning. What was going on in your life when you decided to create this page?
So I really loved Sunday Scaries when it came out. I was like, oh, this is like right on brand. I was like, yes, it's Friday. Let's get ready for the weekend. Or it's Sunday. No one really wants to go back to work. But
Absolutely.
what I noticed is that I was reposting people that did not look like me.
Mm,
And what I realized, I was like, they only post like one black or brown person each week. And I was like, sometimes I don't identify with that person. And so I randomly text my partner and my friend. I was like, yo, like, what if I made my own Sunday Scaries, but made it for black women?
mm,
And they were like, oh, that's like a really good idea. And I was like, okay, let me just try it out. So I tried it out with maybe, I think my first post maybe had like 13 likes. And I just tried it out. And some of my friends followed it. And it just built from there. I just tried to be consistent with it. And I think when I look at it maybe a year and a half later,
okay.
I am amazed that it is what it is because it was just like on a whim. I never expected it to be as big as it is.
It
I'm
grew.
also not really big on social media myself. So the fact that I'm consistently posting 2 to 3 times a week is like subpar for me. So it's just like, yeah, that's how it just started on a whim. And then people loved it. And I feel like in the last 6 months, it has like picked up pace beyond what I can
Absolutely.
imagine. Yeah.
I look forward to the Mondays. Actually, I think, well, yesterday I saw and I didn't remember. It was Whitney Houston's birthday.
Yes, I love Whitney. Anything
Yes, I
Whitney
love me a
Houston
Whitney
now, I'm
too.
for.
And I saw you posted something for that. So you be in tune and you be up to date. So we appreciate that because I look forward to reposting as well. So was there a moment where you thought, yeah, a page needs to exist for us Black women?
Yeah. So like I am a back in the day Tumblr girl. I'm a Pinterest girl.
Me too.
So I was like, oh, let it feel like that. So I have like a burner page where I would repost things that stood out to me that I might not have posted on my regular page. So when I really think about the story, I think it started with that page. So I was like reposting pictures of like Black women and things that were intriguing to me, where it was like lifestyle, restaurants, travel. And now when I look at Black Girl Social Club, it's like, oh, it's an extension of that. It's an extension of Tumblr. And so, like, on this page, I just think is really important because we don't have too many platforms that celebrate us. We don't have too many platforms that look like us. And I
Absolutely, we don't.
think I've been very intentional about the things that I do post on the page because I think, like, in the world outside of being around us, we are depicted in a certain type of way. And I think the page is really like the core of who we are. Like we're not all one shape or form. We're not all seeking this one type of lifestyle. So I
Yes.
think the page kind of reflects different types of people. And as we grow, more people are talking to me about like, oh, can you post this or can you talk about this community? And I appreciate it all the time because I'm like, oh, I didn't even think about that. So it's not intentionally I'm not incorporating these type of people, but with the feedback, I can continue to grow. Like something as simple as people saying, oh, can you post something for like our church girlies on Sunday? And I was like,
Okay.
as someone that grew up in a church, yes, I could do that.
Exactly.
Yes. So I was like, I can do that too because everyone's not doing mimosas early. Some people are doing church dim mimosas. So I was like, oh, let me do that. So yeah, it just kind of grew. And I think with the following and community we have, I think it's evident that it was needed, that people were looking for this. And it just warms my heart because it's just like, I never imagined it being what it is now. So yeah.
Well, we appreciate you and the space that you have created because, yes, it is important for us as Black women and, the generations to come to see Black women being actually like the blueprint. Like, we can be aesthetically pleasing. It's not just the girls that look like the cast from Sex and the City or the
Mhm.
girls that look like something from Top Model or Gossip Girl. We can do those things too. It can fit our lifestyle.
Yes.
I really appreciate you putting out that content, and it's captivating for the eye too. Not only is it just relatable to the day of the week, we've all been there. We've all been maybe that girl that's in the picture, like a girl with her head tied up on a Sunday, just lounging on a couch.
Mm-hmm.
I see you post things like that. So, or drinks on a Friday, because yes, slam that
You
laptop.
deserve.
So, when you first started, did you know what it would become, or did it grow into itself like over time?
Had no idea what it would become. I think for me, as someone like I'm a Gemini, so when it comes to consistency outside of work, that's not my thing. So the fact I was like, oh, if I could just stay consistent, maybe, people will find it. And I think it just grew. When I tell you, when you look back to like if you go all the way back to the beginning of the page, like I said, it was like maybe 13, 15 likes. Getting 50 likes was a big thing for me because I was like, oh, 50 people are
I
here.
was about to say 13 likes is a lot too.
People like relating to this content or me seeing it being reposted on like people pages that I follow, but they don't necessarily follow me. And so like, no, I had no idea it would be this, but what I really wanted to do is be a space where people could come and find inspiration. People could come and find like, oh, that is me or that's me and my homegirls. So I think it met that mark. And I think like the sprinkles on the cupcake is just how big it has become. I do think how big it has become, I now feel like the responsibility is like a little higher. So I try to be very intentional with what I'm doing. But yeah, I think all in all, it's like, I think it's kind of like a product.
Yeah,
People come for a certain product, they get what they need, and you just follow that model. So yeah, I think it was, I think I knew it was possible that it can happen, but I'm still amazed that it did happen. So yeah.
that's cool. So, let's talk about aesthetics and intention. So, your visuals are soft, rich, funny, and intentional. Where do you gather like your inspiration from when you're creating?
I can say is that when I started, I'm gonna go through each of the posts that I do. So like
Okay.
Mondays, started with like businesswomen, like back in the 90s, like Robin Givens from Boomerang and
Yes.
stuff like that. It started with that. But I also noticed that like sometimes you don't really feel like a boss bitch every Monday. You like,
Okay.
yes, I'm gonna do it, but maybe I don't feel like that. So maybe you might feel like Bernadine putting her husband's car on fire on Waiting to Excel.
Okay.
Maybe a recent post that just went like big was maybe the Jackie Christie and her daughter. Like you just feel like Monday is just mollywhopping you. So I think like those are the things. So like just making sure like yeah, some people might feel like a boss, other people might be like I'm barely making it.
Okay.
And then like until further notice on Fridays, it's just like sometimes you are excited for the weekend. Sometimes all you want to do is take a nap.
Yes.
Sometimes you want to be booed up. So I think those are like, and when I think about it, it also like reflects my life. Like I'm not going out to drink every Friday, but some weeks I do need a little tequila. Sometimes I just need to be with my family. And then Sundays are my favorite days because as I've gotten older, Sundays are my favorite day of the week because they're so soft. Like I'm not rushing anywhere. I can do what I want to do. I'm going to Trader Joe's. I'm getting me a coffee. And
Yeah.
I think that is like the softness. And then the softness is like even maximized in the summer because everyone's outside. You're with your girls, you're walking, you're doing these type of things. And I think those are like the inspirations of it. I think
Okay.
I've been very intentional with the soft luxury because I think a lot of times people don't think that Black people do have soft luxury. And
And
a
we
lot of
do.
us do.
We
And
do.
luxury doesn't necessarily mean that you're rocking a Louis Vuitton bag. Luxury is like you're moving at your own pace. You have a rich community. You live how you want to live. So I try to do those things. And I think just showing all different types of women, making sure that I'm not showing like women that fall into one particular category, that I'm showing different types of ones. I think the only gap sometimes with finding people is that like Pinterest isn't built around the Black woman.
No.
In many ways is built around the white woman.
I love a
So trying
Pinterest, but yep.
trying to find like those Black pictures and not using the same ones or not trying to find the ones where I'm like, I don't know nobody that's acting like this. So like that. And then like using celebrity posts that they post and like reposting those. So that has been a thing. But I
Okay.
realized like the more that we grow and the weeks that come from it, Pinterest is a hard place to find the things. And so like seeking inspiration from different places and finding those things, I'm always grateful that I could find maybe 10 pictures sometimes. And I'm like, oh, this is a good week. With the gap that I'm running into now, it's just like Pinterest is not a platform for that. Or if you think about in comparison to like the other platform that is inspired by, it's a plethora of movies and videos and things that they could pull from. But when you think about like the Black experience or Black women, particularly, it's like it's hard to always find
Always hard.
the
Yeah.
resources. So yeah,
Yeah.
but we making it do what it do. So
Exactly.
yeah,
And speaking of soft, something is like soothing, very soothing about the vibe of your content. Is that softness intentional?
I think so. I don't know about everybody else, but life is already hard.
Mm.
And I think sometimes you need a soft spot to fall into. I think also like the softness can also be somewhat as inspirational. Like I am mid 30s now, but I don't think like the softness that I'm experiencing now is what I knew was possible in my early 20s. So sometimes when people see that, they know what is possible or they can create the same life that we're posting. I think that's the thing. I think the softness is very on point. It's very much so like we can be soft, but we also can take up a notch if we want to. But I like to provide a space that is in direct contradiction to what people assume about
Okay.
our particular group. So yeah.
I love that. Because, yes, life is already hard, as is, as you know. We see everything that's going on around us. But, yes, I like, taking my time, scrolling through your content, or just like when you post it on, like, first thing in the morning, it definitely does give a softness. Even sometimes a laugh. And you mentioned the Jackie Christie and her daughter. That was the laugh that I needed because, yeah, that Monday felt like it was dragging me by the eyelash.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like that one or the Beyonce one when her car was turning over.
Yes.
Everyone loved that one. I was like, yeah, I feel like sometimes that's what a Monday feels like. Like Jesus take the wheel. So yeah.
Yeah, especially after you had like maybe you had a turned up weekend or a weekend
Mhm.
that just flew by so quick and you're like, you waited this long for the weekend and now weekend just gone. And now we back here at work. Like,
Yep.
please be, please be for real. But
Exactly.
yes, I do. I feel the softness and I feel that it is intentional, but I just wasn't sure. So I'm glad that you clarified. Do you ever feel like people underestimate how much thought and emotion goes into curating a vibe like this?
So let's just say 98% of the time, it is all good vibes.
Okay.
But now that we've grown, I sometimes get like DMs or messages where people are like hypercritical, like to the point where they have created stories in their head about what I'm creating or why I'm creating it. And I'm just like, I don't even know how you got 1+1. I don't even know how we got here. So
Okay.
there's that. I think for the most part, people love it. They come to get what they need and they like, they move on. But I think there is some small groups of people where no matter what I post, is something wrong with it. Or no matter like, oh, you're missing this group of people. So I incorporate it in the next week and they still might come back and say something else. But on the most part, it's all love.
Okay.
It's just a small group of people that have, something negative to say. And for the most part, I'll read it and I'll delete it or I don't even respond.
I love that.
But for the most part, everyone loves it. It's just like, yeah,
Can't satisfy everybody.
can't.
I'm surprised people are very bold and bright to just sit there and message you and critique.
People are very bold. I think when I think about me on social media, I don't think I have ever slid in someone's DM to be like, da 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 da.
Yes, me
Or
either.
if I don't like something, I just continue to do what you do on Instagram. You just keep scrolling. But some people feel so passionate about it. So passionate about it, but kind of like behind a page that doesn't have a profile, doesn't have any followers. So it's just like, what are we doing here?
Like you're
Thank you.
bored and you just felt like you needed to say something. But I'm glad you protect your peace by either receiving the feedback. Maybe it may not be the best delivery, but you receive it and try to apply it to, your content moving forward to try to satisfy that population or just ignore it.
That's all I can do.
Yeah,
Do what I can, let go of the rest. Yeah.
that's very different.
Yeah.
So, what has this space taught you about yourself?
I think it has taught me, and I'm going to sound like Nipsey Hussle, but it's not a race, it's a marathon. If I would have looked at what I had achieved in the first 6 months and been like, oh, this is not what is needed, I would have never saw what it is today. If I think something else I lost is like, your community is waiting for you. So like this was something that I did very much on the whim.
Okay.
But there's a community of people that were just waiting for someone to create this thing. So when I think about people wondering if their ideas are valid or if they should pursue something, you will be amazed of how many people are waiting for you to put action to that idea.
Mm.
And then I think the last thing is just like betting on yourself is just like, it is very rewarding. I think for me, it's just like having this many people getting the messages about, oh, I needed this, or like, you don't understand like how much this page means to me, or I look forward to your post every week. It's just like, it makes you feel good in a way of like, I'm doing something for a group of people that might not have been seen, or I'm doing something for a group of people that really appreciate what was just personal to me. So I think those are like the type of things like that. I think the biggest one is just like, there's a community waiting for you, and just bet on yourself. Yep. Whether it's like professionally, personally, socially, like just bet on yourself, because more times than not, a win is waiting.
I received that. I received that because we all like, sometimes we could get in our head as far as like you have a bright idea and you know that it could be great and it can touch somebody, even if it's just one person, like that putting it out there, it'll make a difference. But sometimes taking that leap of faith and just doing it, you just never know. Like the results can like exceed your expectations. And I'm sure it has exceeded your expectations of the space that you created. Like your following is growing, the content is like developing, and you probably back then you probably wouldn't have seen yourself like in the position you are now. So kudos to you.
At all. Yeah.
So what does it feel like to know that something you created gives Black women permission to just be?
It feels really good. I think I have been on the other side of it, seeing other Black women create things, and I'm like, oh, I love this. And now being on the other side of it as like one of those creators, it just really feels good. I think it really feels good. It feels purposeful. It feels like, you're adding some good to the bigger social media giant that it is. So yeah, it really feels good. It feels validating. I think sometimes it does feel heavy because I don't want to go too far away from what we started from. I also don't want to let people down. I don't want to be like, oh, these posts didn't hit as hard as like the week before. So I think sometimes I could get caught up in the numbers of like, oh, this is what people really love. Let me just make sure I stay in that pocket. But then it just boxes me in. So I
Yes.
think what I try to do is like post and like walk away. And like whatever comes from it comes from it. Because I think sometimes when like you're in the building stage of something, it's just like, oh, what are the results? But I think I try to tell myself it's just like, I'm not looking to gain anything from this. So it's not like I'm trying to become like an influencer or like, you know, this is my bread and butter. I think it's just like creating a space for women that look like me because it's important. And that's the win regardless.
Right.
And like that's what I always have to bring myself back to.
And I was going to ask you, but you explained it why it feels heavy. But I get it. Like you, it's like you want to play it safe as far as like continue to post what other people really like, what gains the most traction, but stepping out of your like comfort zone, definitely it may not always get you the traction that you are looking for, but again, as long as it's like hitting home for someone, one, two, five, 10 people, that's all that matters. So yeah, I really like that you mentioned the positive and the negatives when it comes to like creating a space for Black women to just be and to just exist. So thank you for that. Thank you for sharing that. Do you ever like scroll back and think, damn, I really did that?
So, I think it's a few posts where I am like blown away that this is the post that went.
Okay.
I think there's one where it's a lady with like her red nails and she's like Mondays down. That one went big quick. I think even the Mondays that I do that are very funny, that goes very quick. And I'm like, oh, this is just me in my natural habitat. Like I didn't even think you were gonna pick up on the joke that I'm saying. But yeah, I think there are a few posts that I've like I think in the last few months there have been a few posts maybe on Mondays and Fridays and particularly maybe one or two Sundays that have gone way bigger and like big really quick. So like I can post and then maybe an hour later you're like, whoa. And so I think those are the ones. And I just think it's just like sometimes I also check the posts around like the mood of like the current state of the world. So like this, you know, something could be
I
up
love that.
and you do
Yeah.
it like that. So everyone was going to Cowboy Carter. So like just, you know, maybe influencing that got people or like it's summertime. So like is everyone outside or is it being super rainy and everyone's inside? Or people traveling. So like incorporating all those things like that. And I think those posts have really gone big. But I'm always amazed sometimes by the posts that have gone big because those are sometimes the posts that I was like, oh, they might fall flat. Like I don't have
Mm.
much product to pull from, but those are always the posts that be
It's
like,
always those posts.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 I've
Like,
also, oh, sorry.
no, no,
I've
go
also
ahead, go ahead.
realized that some of my posts where I'm not always heavy celebrity, but very much so heavy like vibe, they go even bigger. And those are like some of the posts that have gone like really big. Yeah.
Maybe because it's more like relatable.
Yes. Yes.
That's
And
probably
everyone's not
why.
posing. Yeah. Yeah.
Because I can attest to that. Like the celebrity ones, I might like repost a Bernadette because that is my alter ego. Okay, like when I'm
Yeah.
having a day, I just want to set a car on fire maybe
Mm-hmm.
and toss the cigarette. But there's times where, like for example, a Sunday's post, and you might have like a picture where it's just a group of women like cheersing
Mm-hmm.
with their drinks in their hand, or a woman head to toe in like spa attire, or a woman on her couch reading.
Yes.
Those are relatable to me
Those are the
because
ones. Yeah.
yeah,
We're going to get flowers. Like people really
yes.
love those. Yeah.
Okay. But I'm here to tell you, yes, you really did that. You have. Because they're super, super cute, super relatable, and it's very like, you see it, you're like, oh, this is cute. And then you're just like swiping through your
Mm-hmm.
content, like your slide, and you're like, okay, let me see which one fits my mood so I can repost. And then we go from there. And then sometimes like I'll go into one of my friends' posts, or I'll go into a friend's a follower's story, and I'm like, okay, we all got the similar mood, or we all seen the same post, and we just found one that fits our mood at the moment. Yeah, I'm here for it. So now let's talk about vision and expansion. So you've said you want to stretch this beyond the
Yeah.
page. Can you share what that vision looks like?
I think I feel like this is so cliche. I would love to do like a little merch, maybe like a little sweatshirt or like a little hoodie. So like that's
Okay.
something that I'm thinking about. I do like one of my biggest goals is to kind of like find pockets of communities that are close to each other and maybe setting up in-person events. So like I know
Okay.
like you were sharing that you live in Delaware, but like you're from New
Yes.
York, so you travel back to New York a lot. I promise you there are probably some girls or women that follow my page that are in Delaware, probably looking for people like you. So like
Okay.
just beginning to expand it in that way. I think that would be really great. Like just having a little community outside of the internet. And whether it's like through curated social events or just like you all like, hey, I'm going to a coffee shop on Sunday. Would you like to come with me? We can go to Home Goods after. Something like that. So
I'm
like
here for it.
just building that type of community. I've tried the book club thing. I think the book club thing came at the wrong time for me because I started in the summertime and the summer just got ahead of me. So I think
Okay.
that's something else that I would be interested in. But those three things, the merch, the in-person community, and then possibly like something that people can meet every month online are things that I'm like interested in because I think my partner is always telling me like, oh, this can expand to so much more. And then I get in my imposter syndrome of like, I don't know, maybe it's just this. Maybe people are not interested in the person that's behind it. Maybe they're just interested in what's posting.
No,
So
girl,
when you
we
reached out
interested.
to me, I was like, oh, well, confirmation. Someone is interested. I never really thought that people were like wondering who was the face behind the page. I've been very intentional though about not showing like my face or being because I didn't want me to be the product. I wanted the post to be the product. So I've been very
Okay.
intentional with that. But I do think people are very sketchy or very wondering about like who is this? Make sure this is a actual black girl leading this page. So I think
About that.
this episode is perfect for it so people could be like, oh yeah, we could really follow it because it's not somebody else. So yeah.
I love that. And shout out to your partner because obviously they see this growing into something bigger than what you have intended for it to be. I'm here for the merch. Okay, I love me a little sweatshirt, a hat, something. The community is definitely needed, especially now like the fall is coming soon. Like sometimes, yes, we love to be indoors, but there's times where it's like, especially being for me personally, I'm in a new space. Even though I've been here for some time, I'm still getting acclimated and where I live, things are still being built up. But if I want that black community feel, I
Yeah.
have to go to places like I have to go next door to Maryland, or I have to go to DC, or I have to go to Philly, or I have to go back to New York. I'm not opposed to traveling as long as I'm benefiting from it. However, if you ever start that community offline, yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that and kind of have like ambassadors in certain areas and like they take the charge with it because I don't know anything about every place. But yeah, I think that would be really good for people because I
Yeah,
think based on the demographics, there are a lot of Black women living in a certain group together. It's also a lot of them looking for different things, so I think it would be a good thing to try.
here
Yeah, I
for
think
it.
yeah.
Here for it. Because I have a book club too as well. And I know we talked about this because I know you have one too as well.
Mm-hmm. Barely.
But I can't wish But I feel like that is a form of community too.
Mm-hmm.
There's days where sometimes I'm like, I don't feel like doing the book club. But then I get on and we talk about the book and I'm like, I needed this. Especially after having a day that I did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I needed this. So
Yeah.
I'm all for community. So like I said, I'm gonna pay attention to your page, but whenever you start the merch, whenever you start the community engagement,
If I
I'll be
don't do
on it.
it, just pull up in the DMs and be like, "Oh, what happened to the merch?
Yeah,
What happened to the community? Did you forget?" And I'm like, "Oh, okay,
I'm
yeah."
gonna give you to the fall. Like I didn't see anything. What's happening? So I'll hold you accountable. Fair enough. What kind? You kind of touched on it, but what kind of community are you dreaming of building around this?
I would love for it to be like a community of Black women around like all age groups coming together, kind of like doing things together, building friendship, building bonds, but also additionally like kind of being like a in-person resource to each other.
Okay.
So being in the situation where like, oh, I met this person on social media, but they also might be in the lane or the avenue I'm trying to get into, and they can give me some advice or they can help me get in the door. I think especially with recently, with there being over 300,000 Black women that have been laid off this year, I think a lot of people could benefit from people that look like them, either exposing them to opportunities, giving them a word of encouragement, being a safe place. Because like even when you're saying like, Sometimes I have to travel to Maryland. There's Black people in Delaware. They're
Yeah.
always looking for each other. So if
Yeah.
there's a place where they can find them, I think like that would be great. I think, yeah, that's what I really want. I think even when I share about like what's going on at my complex, like where I live, the community has really, everyone's just saying like, oh, I've been living here for months and I go to work, I come home, I stay in my apartment, but like I want it to be more. And now that we have each other, it feels like a more personable experience. Like I feel like, oh, I want to come home, I don't have to stay in my apartment, I can go to
Yeah.
such apartment, or we can meet outside, or like for instance, me and my neighbors, we ride bikes in the morning. I've had a
So
bike
cute.
for like 2 years. I have not started riding this bike until they were like, let's go ride bikes. So like building community in that way is just like what I really want, and also just creating like a resource base for each other. Like,
Okay.
yeah.
I love that. The riding of the bike, that is so cute. That is so cute. And you're also creating memories too.
Yes, yes.
And you will never forget these people. Like, if they move out, you move out. Like, they're like family now.
And that's what it really is. Like, I think, and I don't know if this is for everybody, like, when I think about like my college crew, we were very tight because we were all in proximity of each other. Like, we were all living the same things. But then when we graduated, we kind of spread it out. And so when you spread out, there's still a connection there, but you also now need to build new connections into where you are 100% of the time. And I think sometimes as an adult, it's so much harder to do that because one, you're comparing it to your original crew. Or
Absolutely.
two, like where do you find actually good people and not weirdos? So it's just like it's so much intention with trying to find friends as an adult. And like I think if we already have a platform where there is some cohesiveness and understanding and likeness, why can't we build upon that? And I think that's what I would love to have for people.
I love that. Because for sure, like you subconsciously do compare your community that you've
Mm-hmm.
had in college or maybe even high school. You compare it subconsciously, not intentionally, but I do understand the importance of new connections. Those new connections, especially people that are in close proximity, doesn't mean like they take precedent over the people that are your day ones. No, it's just this is my community for here when I'm
Yes.
living in Delaware. When I need someone to go out with to grab a drink, because
Mm-hmm.
today was a day,
Yes.
those are your people.
It's like evolution.
Yes.
Like, for instance, like my best friend still lives home back in DC, but I
Oh, okay.
still have very much so close friends here. So, like, even if I talk to my best friend about it, I can also lean on my friend that is here. And I think sometimes it makes, living a little easier because I don't feel like I have to travel all the way back to DC to get what I'm looking for. I can get it
Yeah.
right here. And I think, with age, I have learned that because when I first moved to New Jersey like 8 years ago, I was like, oh, well, these people are cool, but they're not my DC friends. And so now I sometimes mix it. I'm like, when I have events, my DC friends come, my New York, New Jersey friends are here. And it's just like, oh, they all blend together. So it's just like, yeah, you
That's
can have
nice.
different
Okay.
parts, different people, and they can come together and they all serve a different purpose.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love that. Because I used to feel guilty about it before. Like, oh my God, like my friends back at home, I hope I'm like, it doesn't look like I'm forgetting about them. But no, it's, they know where they are
Mm-hmm.
placed in your life and they
Yeah.
understand like you're fostering new relationships because it gets lonely when you live
It
on your
does.
own in a new place. Granted, you may have like family, but sometimes they don't get the stuff like us Black women at our age are going through currently. They may not get it. So you foster the relationships with people that look like you, that's around your age group,
Mhm.
that like just, and you click because you guys get each other.
Yeah.
So
And they
I
also
love
know
that.
you now. I think
Yes,
sometimes a lot of people know us at a different part of us. And yeah, those parts are still important, but like also do you know me now? And I think that's what I love about new friends because sometimes they know me in my current state. And sometimes that's
absolutely.
easier than people knowing me in my other states because it's just like, and when I say state, I mean like state of being. Like, oh yeah, you knew me when I was like young, wild, and free. I may not be that 100% of the time or more. So like someone knowing me at this current place in life, it's just as important as someone that knew me at the earlier stages.
Absolutely. And my last question for this, as far as the vision and expansion, is there a piece of merch, a product, or even a feeling you want people to carry with them from this space?
I'm really big, like, I want it to be comfortable, but I also want it to be like, oh, this is nice. So what I really want to do instead of like screen print, I want to do stitching. Like having it
Okay.
branded, almost like branded on it, like in a stitching state where it's like, oh, this looks nice. This is like high quality. And or to the point where people might be like, oh, what is that? Let me look into it. Something like that. I also want it to be like very personable to us. So like even if it's like a trucker hat, like something with a saying on it that's very relatable to us.
Okay.
Like just that, like something that like very much so the aesthetic of the page.
Okay.
Very much so day to day, but up a notch.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm here for it. I love a hat. Like I said, I love a hoodie, but I'm here for it. So let's talk about affirmations a little bit. So what keeps you going on days when you're just not feeling it?
I think I am in the current season where what I kind of remind myself is just like every day has to end and every day has to start. And I think it is so much simplicity in that, but when you really think about it, it's like every day has to end.
Hmm.
And every day you get a new opportunity to do something else. So let's just say yesterday wasn't good. The luxury about life is that you get a whole nother day to paint it different than what you did yesterday. So I
Absolutely.
think, or even when you feel like it's like your raining season, it can't rain always. So it's just like, it's so much hope into the reality of there's something new each day. And if you get a new opportunity every day, that's that. So I think for me, affirmation is just like every day has to end, every day has to be new, and each day I get an opportunity to do. Like it's just like each day I get an opportunity to be who I want to be better than who I was, to do what I want, and not take that for granted.
Absolutely.
I
I
think
love
something
that.
else is just like you are your best thing. I
Mm,
think a lot of us look externally for things. We look for others to be the thing that kind of like helps us and support us. But so many times we are heavily dependent on ourselves, or we are the thing that are bringing us to our next stage in life. And we downplay it. You are your best thing. There's no one out there better than you. There's no one out there that knows you more than you know yourself. And when you get really strong and connected in that, it eliminates all like the BS or bad thoughts of like, oh, I can't do this or I'm not worthy. No, you are your
you
best
are.
thing.
I
Yeah.
love that. I feel like he was talking to me just now because it is a rainy season for me.
Yeah.
But every day is a new day to start.
Mhm.
Like, I received that. You may feel crappy today, but tomorrow you have a chance to just start over.
Yeah.
You may still feel a little heavy, but there's ways to feel lighter. Like, I know when I'm going through something, to take my mind off of things, I read, I go to the gym, or I dive into content, like content creating. And that just,
It helps.
yeah,
Yeah.
it definitely helps.
Yeah. I think another affirmation that I like keep top of mind is just like what's for you can't be missed, or like what's for you can't be given to someone else. And I think especially in like the social media stage, especially in like the stage of life where we're in an age range of like comparison of like, oh, they have that, what am I doing where I don't have that? And it's just like your time is coming. Whatever is for
Absolutely.
you can't miss you. Like there is a plan for your life, and like maybe it might take a little more time, or maybe you think it's not moving, but it's all happening. It's all happening because so many of us are living what we once desired.
Yeah.
And when you think about it like that, you're like, oh, it cannot not happen. Because I remember it was one time where I was just, maybe like barely trying to make the rent. Now I pay it on auto pay. Or it's like a situation where I never thought that I could have a community like this. And now I have like a group of people that are my core. And so I think like what is for you can't be missed. What
I
is for you
received
can't be
that.
missed. Yeah.
I received that. And what do you hope Black women feel when they land on your page for the first time, especially after maybe hearing this episode?
I hope Black women know, if you look at the beginning of my page, that we are the blueprint. They don't have to acknowledge it, they don't have to verbally give credit. We know we are the blueprint. And so if you see anything happening in life, it always starts with a Black woman. I
Mhm.
don't care what anyone says. It always starts with a Black woman. So if we walk in life with that type of power and mindset of knowing that like we are shapeshifters, we move things in the world even when we're not being intentional about it.
Absolutely.
Like our very existence is worthy, and our very existence is inspiration to so many people. So who are we not to believe it ourselves? I would love for people to leave my page and be like, oh, I see myself, therefore other people see me. And if we are seeing each other, just imagine what the outside world is seeing. Because
Yeah.
they're always watching.
They're always watching, they're always copying.
Always. Always.
But it is true. Like, we are, although we don't get the credit that we do deserve, we are definitely the blueprint for a lot of things, whether if it's fashion, hair, lifestyle, what else? Makeup,
Education. Makeup.
education, being like a boss.
Yes.
Everything, like, we are the blueprint
Mhm.
for. And I'm here for it. Like, it didn't, it took me as I'm like, getting older to really realize like I've always felt this way, but as more and more as I'm getting older, like being black is a vibe. It's a privilege. Like,
Exactly. Exactly.
I wouldn't have it any other way, especially being a black woman. Like, if you want to change up your look, we can easily do
Do
that.
that. Yes. I find myself so often moving around the world. I'm like, oh, thank God I'm a black woman.
Yeah.
Thank God. Like the intention they have, society has done so much to make us feel worthless. It's like no one puts that much intention and energy in something that is worthless.
Yeah,
Because if it was worthless, you wouldn't have to remind them. But when you
exactly.
see the power, when you see what they bring, yeah, I have to shoot that down a little bit. But it's like, yeah, we're there. We are the blueprint. We
And we're
are
taking up
it.
spaces.
Yes, yes, yes.
Period. So complete this sentence for me. Black women are the blueprint because dot dot dot.
Black women are the blueprint because we are effortless. We are effortless. So many of the things that we're doing is just because that's our vibe. And it is like groundbreaking.
Absolutely. We're
Groundbreaking.
shattering, excuse me, the glass ceiling. Like,
Yes.
that doesn't exist when it comes to being a black
Yes.
woman.
I think it's also because like I don't like this word so much, but it's like we are relentless. Like for time on time, we can think about our grandparents, our mothers, our aunties that have created so much beauty
Mm-hmm.
in small resources that have, if this is all I'm going to be offered, I'm going to make beautiful things with it. And then people that have so much more, like, how can I have so much more and not be able to do that? And you can't do it because you're not black.
Yeah.
You can't do it. You can't do it. And it's just like,
Money can't buy that, sweetie.
you can't.
Sorry.
Black women are the creation. Black women are the blueprint because they are creative, that they are resilient, and it is effortless. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. I love that. I'm just thinking, like, we are definitely relentless. We go through a lot, but we still walk around. We're smiling. We're looking
Mm-hmm.
beautiful as ever. Sometimes we don't look like what we're going through. And I,
Well
I
done.
really love that about us. Because, child, we're like, yeah, I feel like crap, but you know what? I'm going to get up. I'm going to do my
Exactly.
face. I'm going to do this. I'm going to take a shower. I'm going to get dressed nicely. And I'm gonna just
Exactly.
be. Yeah. But thank you so much, Lauren. I really appreciate you coming on, stepping into the vulnerable room, and actually letting people see who is behind this powerful, aesthetically pleasing page. Like I've said, I've been following you for some time, but I really, really, really think like this will help people to learn more about you and your purpose behind this page and to really appreciate it more. Like, it's just more beyond just the photos that you see with the caption. So my bonus question to you is, what's your guilty pleasure scroll? Like, what page do you lurk when you need some inspiration?
If people have not noticed, I am down bad for Tracy Ellis Ross. It
Okay.
is like, oh my God. When I say down bad, I mean like
I
it
love
is
her.
nothing that she can post or share that I'm not gonna be like double double. So I think I use her a lot. April's Office. April has a show with Savannah James, a podcast show.
I love
She's
April.
also
She's
like a
so funny.
creator. I love her page. I love her aesthetic. Very much so like boss, but also like a roundaway girl.
Yes.
So I love that. And then on my spare time, I can be on TikTok for hours. Let me tell you, Instagram is cute, but TikTok is where it's at. Like
It is where it's at.
I could be like, oh, 45 minutes. Oh, I've been on TikTok too long. Let me put my phone down. I love TikTok. I I love the funniness of TikTok. I also love the story times. People are telling their whole lives. Tyler Perry, stop making these movies that you're making. Go to TikTok.
Okay.
So yeah, I think I love that. But those are two pages that I like really love. April's Office and Tracy Ellis Ross are like two pages that I go to a lot for like vibes, inspiration. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yes, I love April. And I do love Tracy, especially after once they put Girlfriends on Netflix and I just binge watched it because when I was younger I wasn't allowed to watch that, but I could see why. But when I watch it now, I'm like, this is so relatable. And she killed Joan. Like that role was made for her. Yeah, I
Yeah.
love
I
I love
love
her.
Girlfriends. I love Living Single. Those are
Yeah.
like my jams.
That's
Yeah.
another show I'm going to rewatch. And I
Mhm.
know it's on Hulu, so
Yeah.
yeah. But I really I love me some April. I feel like she's relatable. And she's funny.
That's what I was like. She's really funny. Like really funny. Like my type of funny. Like, oh, I'm not trying to be funny, but
Yeah.
laugh, yeah.
I love the her and Savannah's podcast. Oh, see, we got a lot in common. But again, thank you so much for coming on into the vulnerable room. Is there like, do you have a handle for Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, whatever, where the listeners can reach you?
So I have this Instagram is Black BOK Girls Social Club. You can also find me on like my personal page. It is Where is Wild Low. So kind of like a playoff is Where's Waldo, but Wild Low.
Okay.
So yeah, that's where you can find me. I don't really post too much on TikTok for real, but I do watch.
Okay.
So, if you want to get in my my thing, just look and then I'll see your stuff too. So yeah, that's where it is. And
Okay.
then hopefully as we continue to grow, you'll see different things for like merch, possibly in-person things and things like that. So yeah.
Love it. And I'll definitely tag your handles
Mm-hmm.
once this episode becomes available. But again, thank you so much, Lauren. It's been a pleasure having you with your breath of fresh air. And this was the perfect way to close my season 4 of my podcast. Yes, girl. 10 episodes. This is episode
There you go.
10.
That's a
Thank
lot.
you.
Everybody go follow her too. Go follow
Thank you. But yes, so guys, thank you for tuning in. And just remember the blueprint is black. And
every
that's
time.
on period. Bye.
Bye.
Come on, y'all. We know these combos ain't for the faint. Thank you for listening to the Vulnerable Room podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, head on over to Anchor or Spotify to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. Follow at The Vulnerable Room on Instagram or visit thevulnerableroom.com for the latest tea. See you next time. Love you all and have a great week.